Today we're going to discuss quantitative observations versus qualitative observations. So when we discuss qualitative and quantitative observations, you need to understand a few things, the differences between them. We make these all the time. We collect data on this. We just have to write them down. Quantitative observations are objective, which means they're specific. They include physical measurements such things like mass. All right, so you might say something, it has a mass of 40 kilograms. You'll notice there's quantities or numbers involved in all these. You might say the length of something is 10 centimeters. Notice there's numbers involved here. Or you'll say the volume in a specific bottle is 500. Volume is 500 milliliters. Okay? All your quantitative data is going to be very specific and expressed as a number. They can be used to support your evidence. You might have somebody do a survey on something and get a number of people from that. That's also a quantitative observation. Qualitative observations are subjective, which means they may change from one individual to the next. You may consider something rough that somebody else may consider not as rough. They're descriptions of what you see. They include sights, sounds, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste. Like somebody may think something is not too sweet, and while somebody else may say, it's very, very sweet. I can't believe anybody could drink something like this. So this type of observation is more subject to the quality of an observation rather than an exact number. So, for instance, you may think like, oh, I really like this sweatshirt. It's a very good quality sweatshirt. Well, somebody else might be used to something that's a little more plush or thicker and say like, oh, that thing's so thin, it can hardly keep you warm. So one person's qualitative analysis might be different than somebody else's qualitative analysis. Whereas if you measure the same object somewhere, the quantity is going to be the same. So the mass of a 50 kilogram mass is going to be the same whether you measure it or whether Joe Schmo in Iowa somewhere measures it. So the amount of liquid in a soda bottle or a water bottle might be, let's say, 591 milliliters here in New York. It's going to be the same amount of liquid in the bottle if it's the same bottle in California. Okay? So those are the two different types of observations we'll be making this year. Make sure you take some notes on this. You may be asked about or asked to decide whether an observation is quantitative, meaning it has a number, or qualitative, meaning it is more subjective based on what you see or observe tomorrow. Okay? Have a good night.